talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. But first, go in the video description. Find yourself some gear, some postal gear. Holidays are coming up. Somebody said to me recently, do I believe a lot of the hype that I talk about? Do I think that things could change? I know I always talk about changing the culture, and I even have my t-shirt made up, Change the Culture. And if you've seen recently, there are a lot of carriers that are coming together, and they're getting on social media and they're talking to everyone. They're letting things be known about their feelings. It's no longer a self world where you're stuck in this little bubble by yourself and you feel like there's no way out and there's no help. There's finally unity. And I always tell people, hey, have you been looking at all of these rap sessions and people just speaking out? And they say, well, that's just one person. That's just one person here. There's just one person there. And the one thing I've always said to them in response, I say that change is never easy, but simple moments like these can start to spark that change that ignites real progress. Because honestly, the progress that we have gotten within the last 3 to 4 years has been better than the progress that we've seen within the last 10 years. We need those real conversations. We need these real people to step forward and continue to fight the good fight. Because it's progress, it's real progress towards changing the culture that I continually talk about. We have to just be brave enough. A lot of people will just sit down and lay down for anything. They say if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. We have to be brave enough to stand up for something, at least to keep the conversation going. And because people have started to keep the conversation going amongst all the social media people on YouTube, amongst all the people that have been posting on their Facebooks and Reddits, it has brought this whole country together. Now, this is just the beginning part, because the APWU's contract's coming up soon. The rural contract is coming up soon. The mail handler's contract is coming up soon. And I'm not saying that we're waiting to see how this plays out, because they each have their own individual presidents. But what I am saying is that the spark and the start is now. It's now. Don't give up just because y'all waited 18 months for the trash that you received. Don't give up. Now, one thing that we're going to get into this in a second. There's people that are continually saying, and I just watched Unconscious Thoughts video. He said that his whole branch, from his branch, they're saying that they should vote yes for this contract. Again, each one of us are individuals, and we all have our own individual feelings and our own individual thoughts. And I'm a little curious on why somebody that's sitting in a power position would say to vote yes if they know that the people that are underneath them are not happy. If we're going to vote yes and allow this to continue, they're going to allow management to continue to press them under unsafe conditions. They're going to allow everything that has been in the past to continue moving forward. Nothing from the old is going to be disturbed if you allow this to continue moving forward. It's a very sad situation when people that are sitting up top don't follow or at least listen to their members. I have 7 things for you. If the membership, if the leadership really wanted to be leaders, 7 things that they've got to follow in order to make an educated decision, especially when it comes down to the money. Especially when it comes to the money. It's sad to hear that people are taking showers at union halls because they're homeless. Does that not trouble anybody? Does it not even, move your heart just a little bit? Open dialogue and feedback. We need to encourage the NALC uppers, the leadership, and members to come together. Town hall meetings, not just a few people sitting up top turning off microphones when they don't like to hear questions, or the questions do not suit what their narrative is. If you don't like what they're saying, maybe you should change your narrative. Those feedback sessions where people have specific concerns, they're not just supposed to be sitting there just staring. They're supposed to be taking notes. Oh, we got a secretary to do that. No, Mr. President, you're supposed to be taking your own notes. Because if you go in there with a closed mind, only thing you're hearing is just gwah, 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 gwah. And that'll never change anything. You're going to go down as a very, very piss poor president from a lot of people. That's the going opinion about you right now. And factually, it seems to be what it is. Number 2, you need to reevaluate your compensation package or lack thereof. The proposal was trash. You need to reevaluate the proposed wage increases and the health insurance premiums, or at least the wage increases to go with the health insurance premiums, because you can't change the health insurance end of it. But you need to make sure that whatever wages are going in there, that they're going in there that are actually going to go into the pocket. Not, they went into the pocket, but no. They went into the check, but they're getting shelled back out to the union because the union dues went up. Or they have to go towards the uniforms because the uniform went up. The cost of uniforms went up. The insurance, because the insurance went up. I mean, you're just giving them more money to give back to the post office. It's weird. It's weird. You give them $5, but I'm gonna charge you $6. It doesn't make sense. Your negotiating skills. I know you speak so well about your own negotiating skills, but what did you truly negotiate? Because people have brought the old contract up and they look at the new contract and everybody has said, everybody that has really evaluated it, not your lapdogs, not the ones that are sitting there that are yes men, not the ones that you're trying to silence, but the real people have just picked it up and they looked and said, this is the same thing. You know who said it was the same thing? Me, before I saw it. I knew you were gonna do that. I said it 5 months ago. I said, this is what's gonna be. And all you did was just prove it right. You didn't fight for nothing, not for them. You need to engage in more negotiations with the Postal Service. You need to stop talking about, the Postal Service is X amount of $1 billion in debt and yabba dabba dabba. Hey, listen, man, you got a big chunk of raise. They have enough money for your raise. They give incentives to management. That's another thing. Are you fighting to stop that? Are you fighting to say, hey, no more incentives for management pressing down on my carriers? Just because they clear sometimes or they're under time, there should be no incentive for management to badger my employees or my constituents or the people that pay your bills. There should be no more. Did you ever negotiate? Did you ever think to say that? Because the pressure that goes into the carriers on a consistent basis is ridiculous. Enough with the managers that are just toxic. The bringing up the supervisors, that the 204Bs that have no, they couldn't carry mail, that are sitting there just degrading people. And then you have such a high turnover rate. It costs money to hire people, but you still have so many stations that such a high turnover rate. Have you ever put in there, we need to come up with a task force to evaluate those stations that have such a high turnover rate of either clerks or either managers, mail handlers or carriers? Have y'all ever come to collectively think about that? There's a reason that station, Oak Street Station, has a very good retention rate, but then over 20 miles away at Elm Street Station, their turnover rate is high. There's what's going on there. We need to investigate what's going on there. Did you ever think to step up and do that? Or you just don't want to create waves? If you don't want to create waves, you should not be in the position that you're in. Number 4, a ratification vote. Ensure that the new agreement or the revised agreement is put to a ratification vote amongst the NALC members. Instead of the foolishness that you did. You unilaterally went up there and said, okay, well, this is what I do. I like it, so I'm going to bring it up there. You have zero transparency. Number 5, you need to educate and inform your members instead of hiding. If you truly believed that your tentative agreement was so great, you should have brought that to the forefront before you brought it to the USPS. If you truly said, man, this is a good deal. Hey, check this out. We gonna tell them about this 1.3%, and we gonna tell them about that. What y'all think? What do you mean you don't like it? You didn't want the feedback from them. That's why you kept it a secret. Come on, man. You need to educate. Well, this reason is this. 1.3% is great because of this. And then try to convince your members. But instead, you did it backwards. Number 6, did you ever think of an alternative proposal? No, because you said, well, there's just nothing else. There's just nothing else. Because we go to arbitration. Bro, did you ever sit down and say, this is proposal A, this is proposal B, this is proposal C. We're going to aim for $10 an hour. If they say no, we're going to aim for $7 an hour. If they say no, we're going to aim for $4 an hour. Did you ever come up with alternative proposals? It takes a lot of work. Well, what were you doing for 18 months, bro? 18 months after. Because you're supposed to start doing this stuff before. And here you got, just in 2 years, you got to come back to the table again. And number 7, you need to think about continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Where in that contract did you talk about when the electric vehicles come out? All it seemed like you did was cut back on the carrier time. It looks like, listen, man, if you can educate and tell somebody different, please do. But it looks like the whole tentative agreement is beneficial for the USPS, not your carriers. At the end of the day, that's what it looks like on paper. There is a big cry nationwide saying, no, enough is enough. And if you hear it, you need to address it. You need to address it. If you truly, honestly, sincerely believe in your heart that this is good, address it. Address it. Don't use those big terms. Carriers ain't the most intelligent people in the world. You have to talk to us like we're dummies. I'm not a carrier, but you understand what I mean. Don't use twisted words to make something sound better than what it is. Be straightforward. Break it down in layman terms. I'm stupid. I read it. I don't know what the hell it means. Break it down for me. I'm a dummy. I don't know nothing. I know dollars and cents. Make it make sense. To me, fuck me. Make it make sense to my brothers and sisters that are out there dying so that you can have $300,000 a year salary. Please. This is JH. I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.